Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talks. Hope everybody's having a great day. I've got a great video planned out for you guys today. Today, I wanted to take a few minutes and talk about the recent dip in precious metals. And I find it extremely interesting what's going on, how we've seen that huge dip. And I want to talk about why I believe we've seen that dip and why I think that dip is not going to last forever. I mean, could it come back down a little bit more? It could. We could even see a flat $30 now, it looks like. But I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty confident in the way silver is. I know there are some people out there that maybe they bought at $33, $34. I had someone leave me a comment today that his dollar cost average is $36. And I was like, man, you must have just bought at like the absolute high. And that does happen. But if it comes down, that's opportunity for people to lower their dollar cost average. I mean, it's harder for people that have a dollar cost average like me that's in the low 20s. And the reason is it's hard because anytime I buy, I know that I'm raising my dollar cost average. You, on the other hand, have the opportunity to lower your dollar cost average. But the big question is, why did we see that dip? Why are we seeing a pullback? And I think it's interesting that we should talk about that. And I know why. I believe I know why. And we're going to talk about that today. If you guys enjoy the video, please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button for me, help me out. Leave a comment. Let me know your theory. Why do you think we're seeing silver pull back? What do you think's going on? If you agree with mine, you can let me know. If you don't, I love to hear your comments. If you're not subscribed, please take a quick minute, hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel out, it helps us grow. I'm really hoping I can get to that big 20K by February. It's going to be a little hard. If we do hit it, I have an amazing giveaway planned out that I want to do. But 20K is still a little ways away. I was on fire February last year, but it has slowed down a little bit. So we'll see what happens. So with that being said, let's jump into today's video. So what happened today? I mean, think about it for a minute. We had a red wave. Looks like the new president, Trump, did win the election. It looks like it's pretty well sweeping. It's going to be House, Senate, and the president, all Republican. And you would think that that would have been maybe good news for silver. But some people have a belief, I believe, that Trump is not only going to be the better candidate, but he is going to be able to solve all of our problems. The problems that we actually have now, and this is not going to get political, but I'm obviously going to talk about it because it does play a big factor in what's going on. A lot of people believe out there that with Trump in, our problems are going to go away. I mean, the problems are pretty bad. Do I think my personal belief that he was the better pick? It's not meant to be ugly or nothing, but my belief, I like Trump better. However, I believe Trump can only do so much. I think he promised a little more than he can really give. I hate to say that, but we'll see. He talked about the cryptos, and that really promoted cryptos. If you saw the crypto market today, Bitcoin was up over $4,000 to a pretty much new all-time high. We've seen the stock market rally behind him. There's a lot going on right now that should be weakening the dollar, but we saw the dollar go up, and I'm talking it went up sizably. It went from like 104 all the way to 105. Is that sustainable? Some people will say yes, because the dollar is going to get stronger under Trump. However, I think in order to make the dollar really stronger, you have to raise interest rates. You definitely can't weaken them by lowering interest rates, because if you lower interest rates, you're going to make the dollar a little bit more easier to get, because more people are going to want to sell their dollars because they're not getting as much interest, and you're printing more of them. And therefore, the dollar should have gotten weaker, especially with the Fed meeting tomorrow. Everybody knows the Fed is going to cut interest rates tomorrow. Now, it's going to be interesting because if they don't cut interest rates, Trump's not going to be happy about that, let's be honest, and it's going to be a political issue, but I think they will cut them. I think that's water under the bridge now. They're going to still cut rates because the banks are in trouble. And if the banks are in trouble, the Federal Reserve is essentially in trouble. They need to maintain this system. For people that don't know, the Federal Reserve is not the federal government. It's not even a part of the federal government. It is strictly a private bank with permission to print the US dollars and organize the interest rates, or try to keep jobs up, try to basically monitor the amount of money that's in the system. And it's kind of funny because when Jerome Powell got asked about, is there too much money, he point blank said that, yeah, there may be, but this is not the time to deal with that. The time to deal with that is when things are going good. But the truth of the matter is, people aren't going to deal with it. No president is going to deal with the debt. Because the truth of the matter is, in order to deal with the debt, you have to cut spending. And if you are I'll say if you're in charge of the finances in your household, when you have to cut spending, that's usually not a pretty thing. Maybe the spouse will be like, man, why did you cut the Sirius XM? Why did you cut Netflix? Why did you cut, I don't know, eating out? These are things that people have to do when they're financially in trouble. When they're overspending, you have to cut your spending. And that's kind of where the government is right now. They're in trouble. They're overspending. And nobody wants to be the bearer of bad news. They definitely ain't going to want to cut Social Security. They shouldn't even really want to extend it. I mean, you already have the average life expectancy coming down, and now you want to raise Social Security? I mean, think about that for a minute. People already work their whole lives away to retire, and then it almost seems like when they hit the retirement age, they're pretty well almost ready to keel over. Now, I know that's not everybody. Some of you out there are probably stellar fitness of health, specimens of health, and you'll be around a long time, kind of like me. Just kidding. I tend to like to eat a lot of junk food. But, it's true that you have to cut spending when things get ugly. And I'm not convinced even Trump is going to cut spending. Do I think we're going to revalue where our money is going? Absolutely. Are there going to be some changes coming? Absolutely. But where does that come to silver? Well, as you look at the markets today, gold went down hard. Silver went down hard, 5% in fact. We saw a 5% drop in silver. What else went down? All your precious metals went down. But what was most interesting is industrial metals went up. Industrial metals being copper, zinc, aluminum, oil. Oil went up. Bitcoin skyrocketed up. NASDAQ went up. Dow Jones went up. S&P 500 went up. Everything has been going up except for precious metals. And in fact, precious metals of all things should have gone up today because of the Fed rate cut tomorrow. But we didn't see that, which makes me really feel that there's still a lot of manipulation at play. Obviously, people investing their dollars into precious metals is not good for the economy. Because let's be honest, when you buy precious metals, most people don't get rid of them. They hold them. I can tell you the bars that you see right there, those are 10-ounce bars. That's 40 ounces of silver. I've had them for a little while now. And they're going to go back in my storage unit, and I'm going to throw them in a box and put them in the very back, and they're going to sit there. I have no reason, I guess you can say, to get rid of precious metals. Now, do I get rid of stuff once in a while? Yeah, of course. I mean, I pick up deals like that pile of jewelry right there. I pick that up dirt cheap. I might gift some of it away here and there, and I would polish it up real nice and be like, oh, that's cool. I'll give that away. But I pick it up so inexpensively. In fact, all that jewelry that you see there at the base, I end up picking that up for $1 a gram. In fact, I've showed this before, so if you've been watching the channel for a while, 158 grams, $150 T. So all that. Now, obviously, when you get into turquoise, that is factored in at $1 a gram too. So there's a couple pieces in there that may not be all 925 sterling, but it's okay. I mean, it's still pretty cool. Some necklaces, some bracelets, some earrings and rings. A lot more rings and earrings, but I tend to like that stuff a little more because it's a little more practical. I'm not really a fan of this one. I don't know why. I don't even know. Some kind of, I don't know, brooch, maybe you call it. You clip it on something. It doesn't ring, so I don't know. But needless to say, this pullback to me is not sustainable. Because even if you tell me the economy is going to get better, and that's why your stocks went up, that's why your industrial metals went up, then silver should have done okay, really. I mean, it should have done okay. Why? Because silver is a huge industrial metal. A metal that is in short supply, despite what some people think. And yes, it's in short supply because a lot of people that have it aren't getting rid of it. We spent good money on it, and we refuse to let it go for less than we paid. Now, some of us have been stacking for a while, and we have been able to steadily acquire as the price has been going up. Maybe you've been buying at, like me, as low as $15, $16. Some of y'all have been buying a lot longer than me. I've actually seen comments that said, when I was younger and I was working at McDonald's, I was swapping out silver quarters and silver dimes for regular dimes. And that's smart. And that's a prime example of good money will be driven out by bad money. Because whenever that person seen those old silver coins, they would pull them out of the till. And I highly doubt he was the only one. There's a lot of people out there that pull them out if they see them. I've done numerous videos at mom and pop places in the middle of nowhere where I talk to business people, business owners. And a lot of them tell me they find stuff once in a while in the till. Well, yeah, if you're working in a cash register all day, you're going to run across maybe a silver dime or a silver quarter here and there. Maybe you're even going to pop open that roll of quarters and just look through it real quick and see, hey, is there anything good? Any W quarters, any silver quarters? I actually found a W quarter just the other day. In fact, it was sitting here on my desk somewhere, but I don't see it now. Hopefully I didn't spend it. It was kind of beat up, but I was like, you know what? For a quarter, you can't really go wrong. So a lot of people are just getting nervous right now. This is a buying opportunity. You should be able to embrace this. I am strong-willed when it comes to silver and gold. I talk about silver a whole lot more because I have more silver than I do gold. I believe that silver is going to have a larger potential percentage gain than you will see in gold. But I like gold because I understand I can grab it and run. You can't do that with, we'll say, a monster box of silver. It's a little harder, or 2 months, or whatever, because of the weight factor. So, the people that are nervous need to just know that what really can be done about what's going on. A lot of people wonder, is all this war, I hate to use that word because it frowns on the video, but is it going to come to an end now with Trump in? The truth of the matter is Trump is hard on a lot of countries. And if he's already said we're going to put an end to the altercation in Europe, I really believe he will. I think he's going to try to set people down at the negotiating table and see, what are you willing to give? Who's going to say no? I mean, when you really think about it, if Putin says no, okay, then we're just going to flood them with huge amounts of weapons, and we're going to put an end to this. If Zelensky says no, then he's going to say, you know what, we're just going to cut funding. And both of them are going to sit down and talk and try to come up with a plan on what they're willing to give up and what they're willing to let go of. Because the only way inflation is going to come down is with creation of more products, more goods, more services. That's how you lower inflation. Because the truth of the matter is, you create more money and you have the same amount of goods and services, it's going to take more money to buy those goods and services. Because, let's be honest, if everybody in your little local town was going to your local Walmart and they all of a sudden got $1 million and you only have one store in your town and it's Walmart, and people are going to buy up everything in Walmart because everybody's loaded. When you start strapping people's money down, and anybody that doubts that only has to look during the whole cough. When they handed out those $1,200 checks, those went straight to the people. Those went to people like me and you. What happened to the majority of them checks? Well, a lot of them went out and bought TVs. A lot of them went out and bought appliances. A lot of them went out and buy stuff. And that's a lot of the reason why we did have a lot of shortages. It wasn't just what they tell you that, oh, well, it's because nobody's working. It's because nobody was working, yes, but it's also because people had extra money. They just got handed a $1,200, $1,800 check, depending on your situation. It could have even been more. And so we were seeing a lot of shortages. Yeah, some people might have been smart and saved it. I can tell you, I put all mine on Dogecoin, all 3 checks. And then as soon as it had that big Dogecoin pop, I sold it all. Paid my taxes on it, put that money aside, and moved the rest of it into something else. And so I think you need to understand what is really going on. It's inevitable that they're going to keep printing money. They cannot stop. There's no way to pay off the current debt that we have. You look at the interest rates on how much we owe now. I mean, it's getting bad. And let's be honest, is it going to be a number one priority? No, he's got too much on his plate to deal with now. Trying to settle altercations down in the Taiwan region in Asia, trying to settle tensions down in Europe, trying to settle tensions down in the Middle East. It's just a lot on his plate. And it definitely didn't get solved before. The problems just kept breaking out. But I'll be honest, when he says something, I feel like it's going to make a difference because people are scared of Trump a little bit. I don't want to compare him to a monster, but I'll be honest. If you're worried about a monster in the middle of the night, you may want a monster to protect you. Because people are nervous about him a little bit. And I have one of my buddies, he gives me such a hard time because I am a Trump fan. He's like, dude, you're all over. Well, actually, I better not say that on camera. Needless to say, he does give me a hard time about it. And I'm not going to say the guy's perfect. But I think that in order for us to get back on the right track, we need to promote more peace around the world. We need to promote more free trade around the world. And we need to enforce people keep on taking, that people keep on accepting our dollars. Why is that wet? Oh, shoot. I put my soda close to it and it kind of was, what do they call it, sweating? My soda and it ran down on it, but that's okay. It ain't nothing special. It is a star note, but it's not like it's a special star note. It's just a basic. So, price of silver, inflation, that's what I worry about most now. I think inflation is going to keep ramping up. And once you realize that, you start to position yourself. You start to pick up silver during the dip. If your dollar cost average is high, keep picking stuff up. If you've got a big stack, maybe just start looking for some better deals. Go to your jewelry shops. See if they got any junk silver. Specifically ask them. And let me know if you do this and you get some deals. Comment. Let me know. I love to hear what you guys pull. I had someone tell me one day that they did it and they were shocked the deals they got. They actually picked up some silver rounds at spot price pretty much. That's a pretty cool deal. It's not every day that they're going to have stuff, but let's be honest. If you have some silver rounds that you're trying to sell and you go to the pawn shop and they're offering you 50 cents on the dollar, you're probably not going to be wise to sell it to them. If you don't have any coin shops near you, chances are you've got a jewelry shop. It doesn't matter where in the country you are, there's probably a jewelry shop pretty close to you. Go check them out. See if maybe they got something good. You may just get something like what you see there, some junk jewelry that somebody sold just for weight. And they're probably just going to melt it down and sell it off as scrap. A nice jewelry shop's not going to want any of that stuff that you see in front of you. But it is silver, and it does have a value. If you were to dig up a Viking treasure from hundreds of years ago, what would it consist of? It would consist of a lot of that type of stuff. Sterling. You had your sterling crosses, your sterling silverware, your sterling serving plates, bowls, utensils. It was anything like that. They recognized silver and gold as money, and they always have throughout history. That's not going to change. I mean, yeah, we don't accept it maybe as money today, but a lot of us still know it still has its value. And even if you're not in the stacking community, you recognize it. So one of my friends, as I wrap up this video, one of my friends who is also in my trading group had asked, his daughter had asked him, hey, what do you want for Christmas? He said, you know what, just get me an ounce of silver. What? Where would I even get that? And how much would that cost, if you don't mind me asking? And they said cheap. And he said that he joked with them and said, I'll put you in touch with one of my friends, and he knows a lot more and he'll be able to help you out. You know, I said, you can give her my number and I'll put her on the right track to get you something fair and good. I actually did can I show it? Let's see here. Yeah, I can show it. I'm going to show you guys something special. Only because I just showed this to someone today. So let me just see if I can pull it up. One of my friends, his girlfriend at the time, wanted to get something special for him. And she had asked me, she goes, I know you know a lot about silver. Can you recommend something? And I said, yep. I said, I can. Let's see if we can close this in a little bit. So what I did was I said, get me some information about his sports hobby. He actually does, I guess you call it combat. He does combat, but he does it in a knight's outfit. For those of you, I don't know, you might have seen mine when I did the training with him one day, how I got my butt handed to me. Hold on, I'm pulling it up on my other phone right now so I can show you guys what I ended up setting her up with. And you know, this may seem to some of y'all, you may be like, darn, that must have cost a fortune. So he gets dressed up as a knight. Let's see if we can focus in. And he collects silver. And I said, get me his birth date, his knight name, and the team that he fights for. And I took a generic ounce that was kind of older, tarnished, and I took a friend of mine that had a laser cutter, and I designed that. And I said, I want that cut into that coin, and I want that specific coin used. She goes, can I just get like another coin and use that? I said, nope, I want that specific one. Why? Because that is silver. Now the picture, it's just a picture of a knight, but that's about what his uniform style looks like, except his sword is a thicker, because he's a big boy. I mean, you've seen him in some of my videos in the past. So if you've been following for a while, you probably know, how big he is. I mean, his arms are close to the size of my waist, or at least some people's waist. Maybe not mine. My waist might be a little bit bigger than the average, but they're pretty big. So, it's something that I had said. And what I was going with this story is the average person has no idea what the value of silver is. Silver could be 20, 30, 500. They wouldn't know. I was talking to someone the other day about an ounce of gold, $2,700 roughly, 26 now. And then I changed the subject and I showed him a 1 ounce silver coin. And he's like, this is $2,700? I said, no, that's an ounce of silver. We were talking about gold a few minutes ago. That's where I'm going. People don't understand the real prices of precious metals. But I think people are going to learn at some point. And that's why when someone takes in a bunch of jewelry like this stuff right here that you see, and all of a sudden they offer them, $100 or something, think about that. They're looking at that as broken jewelry. It's even funnier when I see people bring in old broken gold jewelry. 18 karat gold necklace broke. Oh, is this fixable? Not really. Okay, is it worth anything? Can I do anything with it? Yeah, you can sell it. Okay, what can I get for it? They're thinking some low number, and then all of a sudden you sell them $200-300. They're like, what? People don't understand the price of precious metals. And even jewelry. I've dealt with people that have bought jewelry, that have been trying to sell jewelry, and a lot of that stuff it's pricey. Gold and silver is not cheap. With that being said, I don't believe it's going to get much cheaper. This is not financial advice, nor should it be considered as such. However, take advantage of the opportunity that's out there. Cheaper silver is here. I would not be surprised to see a flat $30 silver before the Fed announcement. And then all of a sudden, we could see silver and gold have another big jump up. We saw almost a $100 dip yesterday. That's big for gold. We saw a 5% dip for silver. When silver goes up, it goes up faster. When it comes down a lot harder too. So with that being said, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys again tomorrow on T-Square Talk. Have a great day, and please check out my short videos. I'm trying to promote them as it does help my view count, and I'm trying to kind of cover all the bases on the channel. So hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and check out all my short videos. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye.